Welcome to Winging It. We are looking at deck building today in Arkham Horror, the card game. Today we're going to be using Arkham DB for this starting deck as opposed to real cards, and the reason for that is that this is going to be an online campaign that I'm playing with other players, and so I don't have a physical deck to show you. I do enjoy playing with physical components, but sometimes if you want to play multiplayer and you want to play with people across the world, Tabletop Simulator is the best way to go. So we're going to be using Tabletop Simulator, and hence I'm going to be showing you my deck on Arkham DB. So this is the level 0 version of a deck that will ultimately be heavily invested in using three aces and some of the rogue tricks to get through the deck quickly and to smash tests. So it doesn't really shine at this level. This is going to be basically about just doing a basic job, doing basic investigates, um, solving the dream diary, and then hopefully with some XP, we'll be able to buy a lot of goodies and create the deck that I'm ultimately interested in playing. So I do have two copies of the Dream Diary in this deck. I'm going to only have one copy in the upgraded version because it'll be pretty easy to get it into play with a 30 card Mandy deck and lots of card draw. But I want to here because I want to get it as soon as possible for Curtain Call, which is going to be taxing us pretty heavily, and I want to get it done and then just move on. The scenario can get very hard, and I don't want to try to be solving this in the last two turns if I can avoid it. I also have an Occult Lexicon that I can use for extra card draw, that I can use for extra resources. That I can use for damage. I'm going to end up replacing this with Ancient Stone, the one that does draw to do damage, so it kind of fits in the same spot. Dream Enhancing Serum is what's going to be enabling my basic strategy, especially once I start getting Myriad cards, from the Rogue pool. This will let me keep a bigger hand size than normal, and of course get lots of draw as I draw those duplicates. Find Clothes is here because we're doing Carcosa, and because the second scenario, it's just so much easier if somebody has Find Clothes. So I will be taking Find Clothes. Mr. Rook, standard ally for Mandy, free trigger. You can search through and get cards. She can, of course, being Mandy, can resolve it twice or go deeper if she needs to. This is going to be a little bit concerning because of Stubborn Detective, which she is going to pull, and probably pull a lot as I'm going through this. So she just needs to make sure that she's got, she does this in a window where it's not going to shut her down the rest of her actions when Stubborn Detective pops out. So we have you handle this one. This will go away very quickly, but it's good for the level 0. Again, tempo is going to be an issue in the first scenario, especially as we're trying to solve the Dream Diary. So being able to hand off enemies or bad treacheries to other players will be very useful. Sounding Revelation, mostly used for putting secrets on Mr. Rook, maybe economy if we need it, but that should be handled by Crack the Case, and then later on Easy Mark when we upgrade into that. We do have Crack the Case, so when we finish getting the last location, we'll be able to get clues or get resources, and of course we can pass that on to other people. I will be replacing this with Easy Mark as soon as I can. No Stone Unturned, some Surge Tech. It's not great Surge Tech because it costs an action and it goes 6 deep, but this is kind of a placeholder for the level 5, which we will be getting, and it's also kind of a backup in case we don't get Mr. Rook very early on. And then Occult Evidence, we have one of those. This is Mandy's signature. We only have one because because it's a 30 card Mandy deck. Yeah, get you a clue. It can be all right. Practice makes perfect. Let's us search. We have two targets for this right now to get practiced. That's going to be our deductions and our perceptions. Perceptions will be going away, but we will be picking up um, the momentum and three aces that this can also grab. So it's good. Shortcut, just a good card. It won't be in our final build. We will replace it with a Pathfinder and then some other cards. But it's a good card. Again, we're going to be action taxed in the first scenario, so that's something just to save actions. Slip Away gives us a defense, especially against the ghosts that have a very high evade. We should be able to still smash that evade, adding our intellect and agility, and be able to keep it locked down for a little while can be very useful. Again, this will go away as we level up. We got deductions. Obviously, this is pretty standard fare for Seekers. We'll be upgrading this into a level 2 deduction pretty early on. We got Eureka. Good, more search tech. Eventually, I will have to get rid of this in order to make room for higher upgraded cards, but I will keep it as long as I can. Guts, card draw, beat willpower tests. I don't. It's really good. I try to put it in most of my decks of anybody that's got a 3 willpower or higher. Perception, I will be getting rid of this, but it's an initial target for practice makes perfect, and it'll let her beat those tests before the intellect tests before we get the upper level Dream Diary online. And of course, we've already talked about the stubborn detective. Just have to be careful with Mr. Rook, but hopefully we'll have friends who can handle this. It is going to be a little bit of a problem because of how often we'll end up drawing through this deck at higher levels, but it is what it is. So I do want to go ahead and take a look at the higher level, my destination deck. So let's go take a look at that. Okay, so this is where we want to be in the end. This is when we get most of our XP through Carcosa, what we're going to be shooting for. So we are going to grab 2 Ancient Stones. These will allow us to, we're going to have lots of card draw, so might as well use it. We can do damage with our card draw. I have 2 of these so that I can replace them when I run out of charges. Dream Diary, I have 1 copy because I think I should be able to yoink it fairly fast, and this one will give me, when I have that card, I'm going to get the 2 extra, the unexpected courage every turn, basically, but I can get extra icons when I have a full hand, and which I should have a lot because of Dream Enhancing Serum and all the card draw I have in this deck. Dream Enhancing Serum will still be there. Mr. Rook will still be there. I'm going to put 1 Pathfinder in because extra actions are, free movement is very good. Segments of Onyx, also very good. It's going to let me get the Pendant of the Queen. Mandy can assemble this very fast with how fast I'm going to be cycling through their deck and with all the search, and only having a 30 card deck, should be able to get this out quite often for free evades, free grabbing of clues, and free moving. Too Studious, kind of a luxury. It's a little bit of an anti-synergy with the research cards, but I don't mind. Getting lots of cards in your opening hand will make the Dream Diary just easier to use. Astounding Revelation is the same. Cryptic Research, we want this so we can get extra card draw, and also we can give card draw to other people. Easy Mark, this will be my primary economy. It's also a Myriad card, which will help with the Dream Enhancing Serum to get extra card draw, and it has card draw itself and gives lots of resources. No Stone Turn level 5. Some anti-synergy with Mandy searching her own deck because it's you'll hit that Shocking Discovery, but really good, especially once you load up on easy marks to give other people their, here, just take 2 cards out of your deck, really strong. We will upgrade our deductions to get lots of extra clues. That we are playing Taboo, so Double Nothing will cost us 6 XP, but it's just a really good group card, and so we'll be sticking it in there. Momentum, it's practiced. We can grab it with practice makes perfect. Also is going to be really helpful when we smash a test. We can smash the nest test. Very good combination with 3 aces. And then we have 3 aces. We get all 3 of these together, which we should be able to symbol fairly reliably, and we can just pass the test, get more card draw, more resources. Yeah, good way to go. So that is where we want to go with this deck. Hopefully that gives you an idea of what my plan is and how I'll be playing this. So let's go take a look at Curtain Call.